God Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. First I want to say Ashar Shabbath. Shabbat Shalom to everyone here at the House of David, everyone who's watching on the live stream, everyone who's listening, all the brothers and sisters scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We are at the House of David, located 191 Howard Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Again, 191 Howard Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Again, my name is Yarapah, and I will be presiding over tonight's service because it is a special night for us. Okay, it is a high holy day. It is not just the weekly Sabbath, but tonight is the 7th new moon, right? The 7th new moon, also known as the memorial blowing of the trumpets. Okay, so again, I say Ashar Shabbat, which means happy Sabbath, and I'm gonna give y'all a new phrase too. Maybe you've heard this before, maybe you haven't. Ashar Zakarwan Tharawaiha. Okay, Zakarwan, Ashar, happy, Zakarwan, remembrance, Tharawaiha, which is trumpets or alarm. Happy memorial blowing of the trumpets. Okay, and this is a high new moon. It's not just your typical new moon service. This is a high new moon. This is the beginning of the 7th month in the Hebrew calendar. So on the Gregorian calendar, we are in October 4th, but on the Hebrew calendar, we are in the first day of the 7th month. Okay, the first day of the 7th month. Go ahead, brother.
Also, Ashar Kadash Yarak.
Yeah, exactly. Ashar, happy new moon. Exactly.
Right.
Ashar Kadash Yarak, happy new moon. Go ahead,
Right. I
man.
want to say that the imposters, the 1948ers, said Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah.
This is not the New Year's
Right,
party.
right. They, as we say, Rosh Hashanah, which means head of the year, right? Head of the year. But as we know, it's not the new year. It is the 7th month, okay? In fact, we're going to get into that just a little bit. But before we do that, I want to give honor to the weekly Sabbath day, okay? The weekly Sabbath day, because it is a Sabbath day. It is the 6th day at sundown, which is the weekly Sabbath. So we have a double Sabbath, right? As we understand, we have a double Sabbath. So we're going to celebrate both the weekly Sabbath, the high new moon, and the new moon, okay? The memorial blowing of the trumpets. Okay, so we're going to open up with Ecclesiasticus chapter 33, verse 7 to 9. I do this, if any of you have been here on the weekly Sabbath classes that I teach, I always start with these verses because I always want to give honor to the Sabbath day itself. Okay? Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 33, verse 7. Oh, please put your phones on vibrate, silent, off, all of the above, whatever, please. You got it? Go ahead.
Oh, I've been at it. Okay, I
Go
want to
ahead.
Read the book of Apocryphal Ecclesiastics, chapter 33, verse 7. Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
Right, so the Bible asks the question, why does one day excel another when every day of we get the same light from the same sun every single day of the year? Okay, the sun comes up in the east, it rises in the west, the same way in the same fashion every day of the year. So what makes certain days better than others, right? Go ahead.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
Right, so it's the Most High who makes the difference between the days, right? He's the one who distinguishes them, right? Go ahead.
And he alters seasons and feasts.
Right, so he's the one who changes the seasons and declares the feasts. So he's the one who set the seasons in order: spring, summer, fall, winter. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 33, verses 7 to 9. Okay, you got it, sis? Yes. Okay, so read that verse again, verse 8, please.
It says, by the knowledge of the outer one, they were distinguished.
Right, so the knowledge of the Most High, he's the one who makes the differences between certain days, okay? Go ahead.
And he altered seasons and feasts.
So he's the one who determines when spring is, when summer is, winter and fall, okay? And the feasts that are associated with those seasons, he's the one who determines these things, right? Go on.
Some of them hath he made high days.
Right. So some days the Lord had made high days. This is one of them. Okay. Go ahead.
And hallowed them.
And hallowed them, meaning he separated them, sanctified them. Right. These days are different than others. Right. Go ahead.
And some of them hath he made ordinary days.
And some he hath made ordinary days, regular days, your Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, okay? Unless there's a holy day that falls on those days, those are ordinary days, okay? And this is one of those high holy days that we speak about, right? So go to Genesis chapter 2. We're going to start at verse 1. Because like I said, this is still the weekly Sabbath day. And we have to honor it as such.
You read it when I get it?
Go on.
Yeah. Now, book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1.
Come on.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them.
Right, it says thus the heavens and the earth were finished and all the hosts of them, meaning the heavens and the earth and everything that inhabited those different realms, the heavens and the earth. On earth we have what? Humans, animals, wildlife, plant life, marine life, and such and so on, right? And in the heavens we have the sun, the moon, the stars, the angelic beings. So all those things were created and finished, okay? So this is obviously the end of creation, right? Go ahead.
And on the seventh day, the Most High ended his work which he had made.
Right, the Most High ended his work, right? Go on.
And he rested on the seventh day.
And he rested on the seventh day. Go on.
From all his work which he had made.
Go ahead.
And the Most High blessed the seventh day.
Right.
And sanctified
Right.
it.
He said he blessed the seventh day and he sanctified it. Just like we read in Ecclesiasticus. He's the one who sanctifies certain days. Right. Go on.
Because that in it he had rested from all his work which the Most High created and made.
Right. So in that day, that's why he sanctified it, because that's the day that he decided to rest and decided to take a break from everything. From there, get me Exodus chapter 20
Verse 8, yes, sir.
and verse 8.
Yeah, book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Right. So remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, to hallow it, right? Separate from every other day. It's a different day than every other day of the week, right? Go on.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Right. You get 6 days out the week to do what you have to do, to work, to go shopping, to do your chores, labor around the house, whatever you have to do, right? To go to school, you get 6 days to do it all, right? Go on.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord Yahweh, thy most high power. In it thou shalt not do any work.
Right. In it, you're not supposed to do any work. You, go ahead.
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter.
Right. Not so your children are supposed to have the Sabbath day off too. They're supposed to complete their housely chores by Friday night sundown. Right. Go on.
Thy manservant.
Right. So if you have anybody that works for you, go ahead.
Nor thy maidservant.
Right. So if you own a business, right? If you employ people under you, they're supposed to get the Sabbath day off. If you have somebody that works in your house or works on your land or your property, you're supposed to give them the Sabbath day off as well. Okay, go ahead.
Nor thy cattle.
So if you own pets, right? Or if you had land that required animals to work on, or if you just owned a farm, they were supposed to get the Sabbath day off as well. Okay, go on.
Nor thy maidservant.
Go ahead.
Pardon me. Nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Right. So if anybody came into our land, they had to abide by our laws. So when people come into your house, right, you tell them, listen, on the Sabbath day, this is what we do. We don't cook, we don't work. We honor the Most High on the Sabbath day. When they come into your house, okay, whether they're in the truth or without the truth. So when we were in our land, when the other nations came in, they had to keep the Sabbath day also. Okay. Read on.
For in 6 days the Lord Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them is, and rested the seventh day.
And rested the seventh day. Went all the way back to Genesis. They always give us the reason why we keep these commandments, right? Go on.
Wherefore the Lord Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
And hallowed it. Okay. Now get me Psalms 118 and 26.
26.
Psalms 1:8. Oh, I'm sorry, verse 24.
24, yeah.
Not 26, 24. Psalms 118, verse 24.
Choice. Read out the book of Psalms, chapter 118. Hold on. Verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, man.
Because this is a day that we should be looking forward to. We should be looking forward to these days whenever we have a chance to come before the Most High and honor Him and celebrate the days that He gave us. Okay, because what did Yahweh Shai say? The Sabbath was made for, right? The Sabbath was made for man. The Sabbath was made for us. Okay, and we should be looking forward to these things, because if it was up to the world, if it was up to Esau, we would be working day and night every day of the week, right? So we should be looking forward to these days whenever they come around. And we should also be looking forward to these days because not everybody makes it to the Sabbath days. Not everybody makes it to the new moons and the feast days. So whenever we get a chance to keep them, we should be keeping them gladly, right? You got that, Zach?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Read the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 24. This is the day which the Lord Yahweh had made.
Right, this is the day that the Most High has made, right? We read that in Ecclesiasticus. He made the Sabbath day. He made the holy days. He distinguished the difference between them and said, this is for y'all, okay? This is for me, this is for y'all. You will honor this day, you will honor that day, right? Go ahead.
We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Right, like I said, we should be rejoicing and be glad that we have a chance to keep these holy days, because there are a lot of people out there, like I said, that did not get a chance to make it here, okay? But yet we did. The Lord saw it fit that we are all here tonight, right? We made the effort and He honored that and said, okay, you want to keep my holy days? I will let you do it. But some of us did not get a chance to. And then the majority of the world is not doing this. They don't have this understanding. They don't have this knowledge, but yet we do. So therefore we should be rejoiced and glad in them. Okay. So like I said before, this is the high new moon, the memorial blowing of the trumpets. Okay. So we're going to discuss this a little bit. And this is the beginning of the holy month in the calendar. Okay. Tap him real fast. Tap him. Tap him again. Right, there we go. Okay. So get me Leviticus 23.
I already got it right at 24, yeah, right there.
Start at verse 23, actually.
I was reading that last night.
You got that?
Yes, sir. I can read it?
Yes.
Yeah. Read the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, and the first day of the month.
Right. So it's in the 7th month, in the first day of the month. That would be tonight, right? Go ahead.
Shall ye have a Sabbath?
A Sabbath, meaning a day of rest, right? Go ahead.
A memorial of blowing of trumpets.
Right, a memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. Go on.
And holy convocation.
Right, a holy convocation, meaning we're supposed to come together, right? We are to come together on these days, okay? On this particular night, the 7th day, the 7th month, first day of the month. That is tonight. Read on.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right, it says, ye shall do no servile work there. Who knows what servile work means? Work for pay, right? Work for hire, servitude, right? So we were supposed to take tonight and all the way through tomorrow off. Okay, hopefully we were all able to do so. I know it's tough on brothers and sisters sometimes. Sometimes they don't give you these days off, but if to the best of your ability, we were all supposed to take tonight and tomorrow off. Okay, so read that again.
It says, ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right, so do no servile work. So even back then, whenever we worked for each other, we were supposed to have tonight off. This whole entire feast day off. It was supposed to be a free holiday in the nation, correct? All right, read on.
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord Yahweh.
Right, so we were supposed to sacrifice certain offerings unto the Most High on this particular day. And in fact, we're going to go over that really fast, really quickly. Okay, so I want you to jump to Numbers chapter 29. I want you to start at verse 1. Because each holiday or holy day, each high holy day carried a specific offering, specific sacrifices that we were supposed to bring, right? And the memorial blowing of the trumpets was no different, okay? What were we supposed to offer on the Passover? A lamb, right? A lamb without spot. What were we supposed to offer on first fruits? Think about it. Go ahead. Yeah, the firstlings. You're supposed to offer the first fruits that came from your harvest, right? On the memorial blowing of the trumpets, we were supposed to offer a specific thing or specific things, as we're going to read, okay? So if you got that, read it.
Oh, yeah, I got it. We're in the book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 21.
No, start at verse 1.
Oh, sorry, 1. Oh, pardon me. We're in the book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 1. And in the 7th month, on the first day of the month.
Right, the 7th month, in the first day of the month, which is tonight. Go on.
You shall have a holy convocation.
Right, a holy convocation, meaning a holy gathering, as we see here tonight. There are brothers and sisters here tonight, right? Go ahead.
You shall do no servile work.
Right, we read that in Leviticus. You're not supposed to do any work for hire tonight or into tomorrow night, right? Go on.
It is a day of blowing of the trumpets unto you.
Right, it is a day of blowing of the trumpets. We're supposed to be blowing the trumpets tonight, right? Go ahead.
And you shall offer a burnt offering for a sweet savior unto the Lord Yahweh.
Right, so we're supposed to offer a specific offering to the Most High. We're about to read that specific offering. Go ahead.
One young bullock.
Right, a young bullock, meaning a young bull or a young male cow. Go ahead.
One ram.
One ram, like a ram with, the curled horns. Go ahead.
And 7 lambs of the first year without blemish.
Right, 7 lambs of the first year without blemish, right? Now notice it doesn't specify the gender of the lambs. So we could offer up female lambs if we had to. And it had to be of the first year without blemish. Because remember, the Most High is not accepting a broken animal, right? It couldn't have a broken leg or a missing eye, couldn't have been sick, right? So we had to offer up the best of our resources to the Most High. We always had to offer up our best to him, right? Read on.
And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil. 3/10 deals for a bullock.
Right.
And 2/10 deals for a ram. And 1/10 deal for one lamb. Throughout the 7 lambs.
Right. So each animal sacrifice came with a specific set of flour that we had to offer it with. Tap him. Tap him. Tap him. I don't want them to pick up on the camera. Con. All right, read on.
Said verse 5.
Verse 5.
Yeah, 5, yeah. It says, and one kid of the goats, for a sin offering.
Right, so we had to offer up the verses 1 to 4 was the specific offering for the Day of Atonement, and then we had to offer up a kid of the goats for a sin offering. Con. So one offering was for the day itself, and then of course we had to offer for a sin offering. Go ahead.
And one kid, pardon me.
Read the whole thing.
Read it again, okay.
Yes.
And one kid of the goats for a sin offering. To make an atonement for you.
Right, to make an atonement for you. So it was for you because remember, we are all sinful, okay? Go ahead.
Besides the burnt offerings of the month.
Right.
And his meat offering. And the daily burnt offering.
Right.
And his meat offering.
Come on.
And their drink offerings. According unto their manner. For a sweet savior, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord Yahweh.
Right, so beside the different offerings that were already required, the daily offerings, the sin offerings, the new moon offerings, we had to offer a specific thing on the memorial blowing of the trumpets to the Most High, and we just read it. But now we don't offer up animal sacrifice anymore. Who's our sacrifice? There we go. Okay, so from there we're gonna get into just a little bit of history about trumpets, because like I said, it's a memorial of the blowing of the trumpets of different times. We actually did blow trumpets and what they signify, because remember, the trumpets signify what? What do you blow trumpets for?
Long.
An alarm, right? When things are about to happen. Okay, but there's also something else that the trumpets signify too. What does it signify?
When you're going to war.
That's an alarm. That's what we mean by an alarm. That's all encompassing. For
It's warning for preparing for battle.
preparing for battle, that's an alarm. That's all encompassing of an alarm. But there's one specific thing that I want to touch on when we talk about trumpets.
I think the Most High can.
There you
That's
go.
the algorithm.
There we go.
There you go. Yep.
When the trumpets blow, that means that the Most High is about to make an appearance and he's about to step on the scene, as we're going to see. All right. So from there, I want you to go to Ezra chapter 3, verse 1. This is just a little bit of the history of keeping the memorial blowing of the trumpets. Yes. I want you to read from 1 to 6.
Chronicles, yeah.
No, Ezra in the Bible. After Second Chronicles.
Second Chronicles, yeah. Got it right here. Phone.
Go ahead.
You said 3, right?
Chapter 3, verse 1 to 6.
3, 1 to 6. We're in that book of Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel were in the city.
Right, this was after we returned from Babylon, okay? The Persian king Cyrus had released us and allowed us to go back to Jerusalem to start rebuilding the temple, okay? And now this is when we made it back to Jerusalem. Go ahead.
The people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem.
Right, when it says as one man, it means we all came together in unison, okay? Men, women, children, all in one mind and one spirit and one body, keeping the words of the Most High, being glad that we're back in our homeland, like we will when we get out of here, right? Go on.
Then stood up Joshua, the son of Josadak, and his brethren, the priests.
Right, this is the priests, the Levites, right? Go ahead.
And Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, Twada, and his brethren, and built the altar of the Most High of Israel to offer burnt offerings thereon, as it is written in the law of Moses.
Right, it said when the 7th month was come, that was tonight, okay? We made it back to Jerusalem. We started to keep the memorial blowing of the trumpets, all right? Go ahead.
So, let me see what I'm saying. To offer burnt offerings thereon, as it is written in the law of Moses, the man of the Most High.
Right, as it is written in the law of Moses, like we read in Numbers, right? Go ahead.
And they set the altar up on his bases. For fear was upon them because of the people of those countries.
Right, the other nations were starting to fear us, right? Go ahead.
And they offered burnt offerings thereon unto the Lord Yahweh, even burnt offerings morning and evening.
Right, so we continuously, day and night, for that first night, continued to burn offerings unto the Most High. We had an altar going up, and we continued to sacrifice, okay? Because we were happy to be back in our land, finally, after 70 years in Babylon, right? Go ahead.
They kept also the Feast of Tabernacles.
Right, the Feast of Tabernacles, as it starts from 2 weeks from tonight, as we all understand, right? We all know that, right? 2 weeks from tonight starts the Feast of Tabernacles. So they started to keep the Feast of Tabernacles as well. Go ahead.
As it is written, and offered the daily burnt offering by number,
Right.
according to the custom, as the duty of every day required.
Right, see, every day required. So we were, once we got back in our land, we were diligent about keeping those commandments and offering those sacrifices, because we were back, trying to get back into the Most High's good graces. So we continued our daily offerings, right? Go ahead.
And afterward offered the continual burnt offerings, both of the new moon,
Of the new what?
and both of the new moon,
And the new moons, right? Like tonight. Go ahead.
and of all the set feasts of the Lord Yahweh that were consecrated.
Right. So remember, we read in Ecclesiasticus, right? He distinguished, he altered seasons and feasts. So we kept those days going, right? As soon as we got back into the land, we kept those days going. All right, read on.
And of everyone that willingly offered a free will offering unto the Lord Yahweh.
Right, a free will offering. So you always had free will offerings. You just decided to give just because it was on your heart to give. All right, read on.
From the first day of the seventh
From
month
when?
began they
No,
to
from
offer
when?
burnt
Sir,
offering.
read it again.
Oh, wait, pardon me. It's verse 6
6,
right there.
uh-huh.
It says, from the first day of the seventh month
From the first day of when?
of the seventh month
That's tonight, right? From the first day of the 7th month. Go ahead.
began they to offer burnt offerings unto the Lord Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
But the foundation of the temple of the Lord Yahweh was not yet laid.
Right, so this was all before the temple was being built again. This was before all of that. We were keeping these feast days and sacrificing. Okay, that's how dedicated we were to the Most High when we got back into our land. All right, so from there, get me the book of Joshua. The book of Joshua, chapter 6. All right, because remember what I said before, or the brother mentioned earlier, that when trumpets were being blown, the Most High was about to make his presence known. Okay, and this is how we manifested it. All right,
Verse 6, 4, 8, and 20.
start at verse 1.
What, 1? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 1. Then the book of Joshua, chapter 6, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel.
Right now, the city of Jericho. Right, we were going to overtake the city, and they were straightly shut up. Everybody was stuck in the city, like a blockade, so to speak, because of us. Right, they knew that we were on our way. In fact, when you read up, I believe it's earlier. I think it's in the previous chapter where Rahab the harlot met with one of our spies, and she was like, "Yeah, we know you're on the way. We knew y'all were coming, so please just, spare me and my family at least," right? Go on.
It says, none went out and none came in.
See, the city was on a blockade. They were shut down, okay? They kept the people in and they kept people out because they knew that we were on the way, right? Read on.
And the Lord Yahweh said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thine hand Jericho and the king thereof and the mighty men of valor.
Right, so the Most High had told Joshua, look, the city is yours. Get ready to take it. Go ahead.
And ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once.
Right, so he gave them an order. He said, look, go around the city. To compass means to literally go around the city, around the borders of the city one time. And you're going to do this for 6 days, right? Go ahead.
Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of rams horns.
Right, so 7 priests were supposed to go before the Ark of the Covenant, and they were supposed to be blowing trumpets, right? What did the Ark of the Covenant represent? Think about it. What was the Ark of the Covenant for us? Okay, think about I have a model of it right here in front of me. Hold on. Give me 1 second. This is a model of the Ark of the Covenant, right? So the priests were supposed to carry this everywhere we went, right? What did this represent? Especially this particular area right here between the 2 angels. That's the mercy seat, right? What happened with the mercy seat? What was going on there? Exactly. So the Most High will come down here between the 2 angels on the mercy seat and commune with Moses, right? So the Ark of the Covenant represents the presence of the Most High, okay? Y'all understand that? Everybody understands and agrees, correct? Okay, so the mercy seat, like it's literally right here in between. The Most High will come down from heaven in a form of smoke and talk with Moses from right here. So, and in the mercy, the ark itself was what? Who knows what was in it?
Aaron's rod.
What else?
The showbread.
And
Aaron's budded.
he said that already. Go ahead. Thank you. The 2 tablets of stone with the 10 commandments on it. And it all represented the presence of the Most High. Okay? So he said before this was carried around, there were 7 priests that was standing before it blowing trumpets. Remember what we said earlier? When the trumpets are blown, what does that mean? The Most High is about to make his presence known. He's about to show up. Okay? So he gave them an order. He said, look, y'all go around the city once. You do this once. You do this for 6 days. Before the Ark of the Covenant, 7 priests have to blow trumpets as they're walking around the city. Okay? Read on.
Verse 4.
Yeah, read verse 4 again.
Yep, okay. It says, and 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times.
7 times. So on the 7th day, you walk around the city 7 times, doing the same thing. Go ahead.
And the priest shall blow with the trumpets.
Right. So on the 7th day, you walk around the city 7 times, and the priests are blowing the trumpets. Okay. Notice the theme of the 7 here. 7 priests, 7 trumpets, 7 days, 7 times on the 7th day. Okay. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet,
right,
all the people shall shout with a great shout.
And then once that happens, we were all supposed to shout, all of us. Okay, go ahead.
And the wall of the city shall fall down flat.
Go ahead.
And the people shall ascend up every man straight before him.
So once the walls of the city fell, we were supposed to run in and overtake the city. But I want y'all to see how the trumpets signified our presence and the presence of the Most High before us. All right, read on.
Verse 6, it says, and Joshua, the son of Nun, called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets
Go ahead.
of rams horns before the ark of the Lord Yahweh.
Right.
And he said unto the people, pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord Yahweh.
Right.
And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of rams horns passed on before the Lord Yahweh,
Right.
and blew.
See, it said before the Most High, right? Remember, the Most High was in the ark. The ark represents the Most High. So the priests were before him blowing the trumpets. Read on.
It said, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord Yahweh followed them.
Right.
And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets, and the reward came after the ark.
Right. And the reward came after the ark. Go ahead.
And the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets.
Read verse 10.
And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice.
Right.
Neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you shout. Then shall you shout.
Right. So he said, listen, for these 6 days, y'all don't say a word when we're doing this thing, because you can mess up the whole operation. Okay. Other than that, be quiet. And when I tell you to shout, that's when you shout. Read verse 11, and then I want you to jump down to 20.
This I said. So the ark of the Lord Yahweh compassed the city, going about it once.
Right.
And they came into the camp and lodged in the camp.
Right. So then from about 12 to 20, that just shows you how many times that they did it. Right. Jump down to verse 20.
In the book of Joshua, chapter 6, verse 20. So the people shouted when the priests blew with the trumpets.
Right. This was on the 7th day. Okay. So the priests shouted when the priests blew the trumpet. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout.
Right.
that the wall fell down flat.
The wall fell down flat. So can you imagine 1 million people all shouting at once as at the top of their lungs, in addition to the trumpets that were being sounded for 7 days beforehand? Okay, we gave Jericho a warning, a harsh warning from the Most High that you were about to be destroyed and we're about to overtake your city. And on that last day, when we all shouted, it sounded like a giant trumpet. Okay, read on.
So that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city.
And they took the city. Okay, read verse 21.
Yep. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword.
We slaughtered that entire city. We damn near committed genocide. Okay, because the Most High was like, no, that city is yours. You can take it. Okay. Now, I'm going to also show y'all how the Most High blew trumpets before he talked to us. Okay? I'm going to jump down, go to Exodus chapter 19. I want you to start at verse 10. This is when we were on Mount Sinai, and we felt the presence of the Most High firsthand, and we could not handle it. Okay? We were like, nope, I want no parts of this. Moses, you go talk to him. All right? Call when you got it.
That what was it, 19 what?
19 and 10.
Read the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 10. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes.
Right, because we have to be pure and clean before we step into the Most High's presence. Okay, we can't bring filthy rags. We can't be unclean ourselves. We had to clean ourselves up. And this was a 3-day process, right? Go ahead.
And be ready against the third day.
Right, he said, we ready against the third day. So on the third day, y'all better be ready. All right, go ahead.
For the third day of the Lord Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai.
There you go. So we were about to meet with the Most High face to face. All right, go ahead.
And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Wheresoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death.
And that's how serious it was. He said, look, draw a border around the mountain and tell the people, do not pass that line, because if they do, they're going to die. Okay, go ahead.
There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned.
Be stoned, right?
Or shot through.
You cannot pass this border. Okay, this is holy ground that he's establishing, right? Go ahead.
Whether it be beast or man.
Yeah, beast or man. So the animals were in danger too, right? Go ahead.
It shall not live.
Nope, they have to die. All right, go on.
When the trumpet soundeth long.
When the what?
When the trumpet sounded long.
When the trumpet soundeth long. Okay, go ahead.
They shall come up to the mount.
Right, that's when we can come up onto the mountain, when the trumpet blew. Okay, go ahead.
And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes.
So we took a 2-day process to wash our clothes, to wash ourselves, right? In fact, we couldn't even lay with our wives for those 3 days, okay? We had to be pure and clean before this day. This was a process, okay? Read on.
And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives.
Right, see, so you couldn't even sleep with your wives for those 3 days. All right, go ahead.
And it came to pass on the third day in the morning.
In the morning, right.
That there were thunders and lightning, and a thick cloud upon the mount.
Right.
And the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud.
See, it says the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud. Okay, exceeding loud over the thunder and the lightning. Now, thunder and lightning is already loud enough as it is. So this trumpet must have been on 1,000, right? Can you imagine the decibels? Maybe pop an eardrum, right? Read on.
So that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with the Most High.
Right, so at the end of verse 16, I should have spoke on that a little bit more. It said that the people trembled, right? We were scared to death. We were scared, part of my language, we were scared shitless. right?
That's right, yeah. No doubt.
All this noise that we're hearing, thunder, lightning, look like the volcano's about to erupt or whatever have you. And the Most High is about to make his presence. We're hearing a trumpet louder than that. We were scared to death, right? Go ahead.
Verse 17 said, and Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with the Most High. And they stood at the neither part of the mountain.
Right, we were at the back of the mountain, right? Go ahead.
And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke.
On a smoke, right? Go ahead.
Because the Lord Yahweh descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace.
As the smoke of a furnace. So it shot up into the heavens like a furnace, like a chimney, right? So behold this sight. It looked like a volcanic eruption taking place. And it's just covering the whole mountain is covered in smoke and lightning and thunder. And you're hearing a trumpet over it, right? Go ahead.
And the whole mount quaked greatly.
So now we're starting to feel earthquakes, right? Go ahead.
And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and the Most High answered him by voice.
So now the trumpet is getting louder and louder on top of how loud it was already. So I'm showing you that trumpet preceded the Most High's presence, right? That trumpet, as that trumpet got louder and louder, that means he was getting closer and closer. Okay, and we're witnessing all of this, and we're all scared out of our minds. Okay, we read about it, but can you imagine living it? Right? Read on.
It says, and the Lord Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount. And the Lord Yahweh called Moses up to the top of the mount. And Moses went up. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord Yahweh to gaze, and many of them perish.
Right.
And let the priests also, which come near to the Lord Yahweh, sanctify themselves, lest the Lord Yahweh break forth upon them.
Right, unless the Lord kills them. Okay, so I want you to jump to chapter 20 and verse 18, because what happens here is this is where the Most High gave us the commandments. Okay, when he was on Mount Sinai, we read chapter 20 all the time, but this is the background, the backdrop of it all. Okay, so I want you to jump down to chapter 20, verse 18. Yes, sir.
Yeah, read the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning and the noise of the trumpet.
And the noise of the trumpet, right? We're seeing all these things happening, right? We're seeing and feeling the Most High's presence, right? Go ahead.
And the mount smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
Right, we backed up. We was like, nah, I don't want no parts of this. This is too much for me. This is a lot going on. Thunder and lightning and smoke and trumpets. Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna turn around. I'm scared. Right? Go ahead.
And they said unto Moses.
Now listen to what we say to Moses, right? Go ahead.
And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear.
Say, look, you talk to us. Okay, you speak to us. Why? Go ahead.
But let not the Most High speak with us.
Right.
Lest we die.
Lest we die. We're scared. Now listen, we don't want to die. And we've already been complaining to Moses how long? You brought us into the wilderness to die. Now we're about to die before the Most High. I don't think I want to deal with that. So you speak to us, Moses. What?
I'm gonna say something to that. So you should know how, like, pertaining today, we know who we worship, right? Like you said, Moses, we want you to speak to us standing the Most High. So the stuff that we're learning right now, you gotta take it serious.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, Moses was scared too.
I know he was.
In fact, let me get that real fast. It's in Hebrews.
Hebrews? What?
It's in, hold on, let me find it real fast. It's in Hebrews where it said that he went up there and he was scared too.
I know that's right.
It's in Hebrews. Hold on one second. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. Let me search for it. Well, go ahead.
Can I piggyback on what you were saying?
Sure. Land back. We don't do pigs here. No pigs here.
No.
I don't want you to say land me back, all right?
We'll pour the soup.
Nah, but could even go to Isaiah 58 and 1, bringing up the modern understand. Like it says here, Isaiah 58 and 1, it says, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Like a what?
Like a trumpet.
Like a trumpet, right? Because we're giving our people what? We're giving them a warning. We're telling them what's going to happen. So we are the trumpets, so to speak, okay?
And show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sins.
There you go. So give me Hebrews 12 and 18 real fast. And read down to 21.
We're in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12. You said 18 down to 21, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right here, said Hebrews 12, 18. For ye are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burnt with fire,
Right.
nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest.
Right. So we're not come to that mountain anymore, right? We're not out Mount Sinai anymore. Read on.
And the sound of a trumpet,
Right. The sound of a trumpet, right? Go ahead.
and the voice of words,
Uh-huh.
which voice they that heard entreated that the word should not be spoken to them anymore.
Right. It said the voice that when we heard it, when we heard the Most High's voice, that's when we asked Moses, listen, we don't want to speak to him no more. You speak to us. We can't deal with him, okay? We cannot handle his presence. So Moses, you speak to us, right? Read on.
For they could not endure that which was commanded.
See, we could not endure. We couldn't handle it. It was overwhelming, okay? Sometimes we might get overwhelmed with worldly things, or we get overstimulated with things that go on in our lives. Too many things are happening at once to the point where it overwhelms us. So when we were in the Most High's presence, his presence was overwhelming for us to the point where he said, we can't deal with this anymore. Moses, you speak to us. This is too much, right? Read on.
And if so much as a beast touch the mountain, it shall be stoned,
Right.
or thrust through with a dart.
Right. Remember, he said he established the borders, said that don't let anything come past this point or else it has to be killed. Right. But this is the point that I wanted to get to. Read on.
Says, and so terrible was the sight that Moses said, I exceedingly fear and quake.
See, even Moses was scared. And Moses dealt with the Most High directly, but even this scared him. So imagine the sight that we were experiencing. Okay? Imagine what we were witnessing at that time. What I call, or what the scriptures call, well, not the scriptures, but there's a word for this thing. It's called a theophany. Okay, where the Most High actually makes his presence known, or the appearance of a deity, right? Where we can perceive it. But this was the Most High coming down directly, right? And dealing with us face to face, coming down to the mountain. And we could not deal with it at all. But that trumpet was there. And it was there before he came down, and it got louder and louder and louder and louder, right? Okay, so go back to Exodus.
Yep.
Where do we leave off? Verse 20?
I think I finished that. No,
Yes, we verse 20.
Yeah, 21, right?
No, 20.
20, read that again? Yeah. Out of Exodus chapter 20, no.
19, 20 and 20.
Yeah, 20, that's right. Yeah. We're in the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for the Most High is come to prove you,
To come to prove you,
and that his fear may be, and that his fear may be before you, before your faces, that ye sin not.
Right, so the Most High made his presence known to let you know what type of power we're dealing with. That he takes his commandments seriously, that we don't sin. Because if that type of power has this ability over us, and we can't even stand in his presence, we better not break his commandments. He'll kill us. He'll kill us for less, right? So he showed us this so that way we know what type of power we are dealing with. And that's something that we have to realize also. We read about it, but we've never experienced anything like this, right?
I just want to say, Adams, what you're saying again, and all of us know, like I said, we edify everybody here, we strengthen each other. That's our goal. Because, how should I say for us?
if we don't, bottom line, if we don't take this serious,
Right.
because we in His presence right now.
Yeah.
Don't think because this happened thousands of years. Remember, He said, "I'm the same yesterday, today." And then one last thing I want to say. That's why in Philippians, it says, "Fulfill ye my joy," not my joy.
Right.
That you be like-minded. We're not like-minded. Y'all know the rest of the scripture, yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not like-minded.
All right, so read on in verse 22.
22. Verse 22
No,
says,
21, I'm sorry.
"Oh yeah, 20. Right, my bad." It says, "And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where the Most High was."
So Moses left us behind and he went up into the mountain in the thick darkness, scared to death, scared that he might not make it down. Okay, so that's the type of power we're dealing with. From there, we'll show y'all how trumpets will play a role in the future, especially when we get up out of here. Okay, I'm almost done. Get me Matthew chapter 24. I want you to start at verse I want you to start at verse 29.
We're in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29.
Right.
Immediately after, you said 20, yeah. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened,
Right.
and the moon shall not give her light.
Right. This is Yahushua speaking. He's telling us what's going to happen in the end times after the tribulation, the great tribulation, Jacob's trouble, which is coming soon. Okay. Y'all heard about that port strike, right? The port workers strike. They're going on strike and we're about to feel it.
They're on strike.
Right. Well, yeah, they're on strike.
They did make a deal.
They made a deal?
Suspended until January 15th.
Okay.
Going back to work.
All right. So
I'm loading tomorrow.
they're voting on it tomorrow?
I'm loading the trucks tomorrow.
All right. So we're good for now.
Thank you for saying that.
Until January 15th.
Okay. Yeah.
That's right
Right.
around the corner. What? Come on now.
After January 15th, they're replacing everything with robots.
They're trying to. That's the whole
They got
problem.
a whole thing in there. They show it. It's on Facebook.
They're trying. They're,
Robots is running the entire board.
that's the whole issue. They're trying to fight off automation. Okay, and that's the trouble with technology. It'll start replacing human beings, and then that's when the hunger and the poverty is going to start, and the violence will increase.
That's bringing forth the artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why that brother who did that, he said live on YouTube, talking about that he works for Elon Musk's company, Tesla, and they have been working their workers like 12-plus-hour shifts.
Mm-hmm.
days a week.
Oof.
You get these robots and these robot trucks.
See, but these days are coming regardless. Okay, where there's going to be no food. We're going to have to run for the hills and whatnot. But these days are coming, and as Yahushua says. So read verse 29 again.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light.
Right.
And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
So this is both. He's talking both in the earthly sense and in the heavenly sense, because you see what's going on with some of these powerful people in the world too. They're getting caught and they're falling from grace, right? We held these people in such high regards, and now all of a sudden they're in prison, and their secrets are getting exposed, right? As they should be. Remember, Yahushua said, whatever's done in the dark is going to come to light. So the people that we held in such high regard, they're going to be seen as nothing but base men. Okay? Read on.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
Right.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
Right.
And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven.
Right. So we
Power
know.
and great glory.
I'm sorry.
With power and great glory.
Sorry, lucky about that. So we see that after these things happen, Yahushua will make his appearance. Right? We will see him in the clouds of heaven. All right? We're going to see his presence. We're going to see him. Right? Read on.
It says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet.
Of it what?
he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet.
So there's going to be a trumpet blown in that final day, right? Read on.
And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Right. So we're going to see in that final day when Yahushua makes his presence known, there will be trumpets blowing. Okay. When we hear that trumpet, we know, okay, it's time to go. It's rock and roll time. Okay. From there, get me.
Yarapah,
Go ahead.
I just want to say something. This month is called the what? The Feast of Ingathering, right? This month.
The harvest.
And that's the time the trumpet is blown.
During harvest
So
season,
that also represents what?
the gathering of the people.
Gathering of the children of Israel. So when you look at it, I don't want to say it, but
It could be during the 7th month, you thinking?
the time of our deliverance will happen around that time.
I could believe it.
It's a semblance to it, all right? Because it represents a gathering, all right?
I
That's
could-
when the trumpet is blown.
That's when the trumpet is blown, during the 7th month. So don't be surprised if we get delivered during the 7th month. You know, of course, we're not saying that that's when it's going to happen, but it's reasonable to think that. Okay, because like Ben just said, it's all symbolic. These are all symbols of what's, of things that are done in the heavens. During the 7th month, the trumpet is blown, and then we are all gathered. We fast first. It's a time of tribulation and afflicting our souls, and then we are gathered. Right? We're gathered in the tabernacles, and then we gather in our fruits for the harvest season.
Then the war that's starting in Israel.
There you go. Oh yeah, Iran's bombing Israel, so
And Russia said, they said last night they're gonna corner Iran. Any move Iran, they're gonna deal with them.
exactly. So it's time. We're coming towards the end.
Scratch it up, baby.
Okay. From there, get me 1 Thessalonians, chapter 4, start at verse 13. First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13.
Yeah, 4 verse 3. Let's say first. Now the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13? Yes, sir. So that's first, yeah. But I will not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
Right. So he's saying, I don't want y'all to be worried about those that have died in this truth, right? Died for the word of the Most High, right? Go ahead.
Well, we believe that Yahushua died and rose again. Even so, them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him.
So those who have died for this word, when Yahushua returns, guess what? He's going to bring them with him. Okay, remember Job said in the end, I will stand before my maker, right? So we have to believe that those who've died in this truth, we will see them again. The Most High and Yahushua will bring them back to us. All right, go ahead.
Well, this we say unto you by the word of the Lord Yahweh, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord Yahweh shall not prevent them which are asleep.
Right, so we're not going to stop those that died in this truth. Although that we're still here, we're not preventing them from inheriting the kingdom also. Okay, go ahead.
For the Lord Yahweh himself shall descend from heaven with a shout.
With a shout, right?
With the voice of the archangel. And with the trump of the Most High.
See, with the trump. And Yahushua said that. He said he's going to be shown, he's going to appear in heaven with the archangels and the trumpet. So the trumpets will be blown. Before it all pops off and before we get out of here, there will be a trumpet blown. Right? Go ahead.
And the dead in Yahushua shall rise first.
And they're going to rise first. So all of those, think of everybody in the truth that we've seen, that we've communed with, that have passed on, they will rise first. So we're going to see Bunloya again. We're going to see Micah Alaba. We're going to see all those brothers and sisters. We're going to see Rakaniah. We're going to see them all again. they're gonna die. They're gonna rise first. Okay. If I've forgotten any names, please forgive me. But y'all know who I'm talking
No
about.
doubt. All of them, yeah, all of them.
All right. We're gonna see. I said Mike. We're gonna see Elder Cut again. We're gonna see them. All right. Karada Sa'ala. We're gonna see them again. They're gonna. Yawanathan. Yes. How could I forget Yawanathan? Okay. We're gonna see them. They're gonna rise first. Okay. And Yahushua is gonna bring them back first. Okay. And then we're gonna go up with them. Okay. Read on. Read on.
Yeah. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
See, we're going to meet them in the clouds. They're going to go first, and then we're going to meet them there. Right? Go ahead.
To meet the Lord Yahweh in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord Yahweh.
Right, go ahead.
Wherefore, comfort one another with these words.
See, we have something to look forward to. We have something to look forward to, but that trumpet will be blown. Okay? That trumpet will be blown. And this is going to be my last scripture. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 50 to 54.
54, first
50 to 54.
Yarapah, that trumpet is going to be a hell of a sounding trumpet.
Right? It's going to be louder than that trumpet on Mount Sinai.
It's gonna shake.
Yes.
We're going to know that's a sound that's not from this universe, man. Beyond, man.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
Absolutely.
something else, man.
You know what? So y'all ever watch The Purge? The Purge movies? You know that alarm that they play when it's about to start? Isn't it creepy? It's creepy as all get out, but you know that something is about to go down. That's why they play it, because they know once this alarm plays, all bets are off. So you should be scared, okay? Because remember, they sanction every crime on the books, even murder, right? It's a horrible thing, but the point was that they blew that trumpet before it all started, and all hell breaks loose. You understand? So this is going to be the same thing here. The trumpet is going to blow, and all hell is going to break loose, because the Most High is going to be making His presence known. All right? You got that, 1 Corinthians?
Verse 15, you said, right?
15 and 50.
15 and 50?
15 and 50.
Yeah, 15 and 50, yeah. Now, the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Neither doth corruption inherit incorruption.
Right, so we cannot, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom, right? We cannot go in with this fleshly body. Okay, go ahead.
Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep,
Right.
but we shall all be
We
changed.
shall all be changed. So we're going to get different bodies when we get up out of here, right? Go ahead.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye,
Right.
at the last
At
trump,
the last who?
at the last trump, for the trumpet shall
The
sound,
trumpet shall sound, right? The trumpet shall sound. There's going to be trumpets in that last day. Go ahead.
and the dead shall be raised incorruptible,
Incorruptible,
and we shall be changed.
So like I said before, those that died in the truth, they're going to be raised up first, they're going to be changed, and then we're going to be changed right after them. We're going to meet them in the air, and we're going to change right after them. Right? Go ahead.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Right. This is when we're going to change from our earthly bodies to our celestial bodies, right? We will be changed. Our natures will be changed. We won't even have the capacity to sin anymore. All right? Right. Well, agreed. Go ahead.
So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Right. Death will be swallowed up, and we won't die anymore. We will be immortal like we were supposed to be in the beginning. So that's the end of my class, brothers and sisters. Again, I say happy new moon, happy memorial blowing of the trumpets, and listen out for that last trump because it's on its way soon. All right. And with that, I say shalom.
Shalom.